Welcome back to Apex Sci-Fi for our season finale. For decades, humanity has broadcasted its existence to the stars. We sent the Voyager probes carrying Bach, Mozart, and greetings in 55 languages. We sent complex mathematical equations hoping to prove our intelligence. We hoped that our first contact with an alien species would be based on science, logic, or high art. We forgot about radio waves. Radio and television signals don't stop at our atmosphere. They travel forever, expanding into the void at the speed of light. And the strongest signals aren't always the smartest ones. Sometimes they're just catchy. Somewhere in the deep dark of the Cygnus Sector, a highly advanced, incredibly literal-minded civilization intercepted a transmission from Earth dated 1987. They didn't find equations. They didn't find Mozart. They found a drum machine intro, a synth bassline, and a baritone voice promising eternal devotion. To us, it's the oldest joke on the internet. To the Cygnus Collective, it is the sacred text of the prophet Astley. This is the story of how a pop song became a galactic religion. If you have ever clicked a link and immediately regretted it, smash that like button. You have been initiated. And if you want to see an alien armada arrive at Earth not to conquer us, but to tell us that they are no strangers to love, subscribe and ring the bell. You know the rules and so do I. The Cygnus Collective was a society in crisis. They were beings of pure logic but they lacked purpose. They felt disconnected, adrift in a cold universe. They were looking for a sign. Then their deep space arrays picked up the signal. It was degraded by light years of travel, but the message was clear. It was a video transmission of a human male with reddish hair, dancing awkwardly in a dusty roadside tent, delivering a message of absolute, unwavering commitment. The Cygnus scientists analyzed the lyrics. They didn't understand metaphors. They didn't understand pop music. They understood literal promises. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Behold, the High Prelate Xyler declared to the masses. This is not a mere entertainment transmission. This is a divine covenant. The prophet Astley is speaking of a bond so powerful that abandonment is impossible. He speaks of a love that transcends space and time. The collective finally had a purpose. They built their entire society around the hymn of never. They reorganized their laws. To let someone down became a high crime. To run around and desert, your duty was punishable by exile. Their warships were repainted with the sacred stripes of the prophet's shirt. Their soldiers trained not just for war, but for absolute emotional reliability. And finally, they decided they had to meet the originators of this divine message. 50 years later, the Cygnus fleet arrived in Earth's orbit. The United Nations was in a panic. Every military on Earth went to high alert. World leaders gathered in a bunker, expecting a demand for surrender. Instead, every screen on Earth was hijacked by the face of High Prelate Xyler. People of Earth, Xyler boomed, his voice trembling with emotion. We have traveled across the stars to meet you. We know the game and we are gonna play it. The world leaders were confused. What game? We are no strangers to love, Xyler continued, quoting the scripture. A full commitment is what we are thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. A young human diplomat named Kevin, a historian specializing in 20th century internet culture, suddenly stood up in the UN bunker. His face went pale. Oh my God, Kevin whispered. Are they Rickrolling us? With a whole fleet. Kevin was rushed to the communication console. High Prelate, Kevin stammered. I am Kevin. I understand your message. Then you know our intentions, Xyler said solemnly. We are here to ensure that humanity is never given up. We will never let you down. We will aggressively support your species forever. It is the vow of the Astley. Kevin had to make a choice. Tell them the truth and risk shattering their entire belief system, or accept that humanity now had an overly attached alien girlfriend civilization watching over them. Prelate, Kevin chose his words carefully. The prophet Astley, his message, it was actually designed as a test of humor. A meme, if you will. A meme? Xyler asked. Define. A culturally transmitted idea, often used as a prank to trick people into listening to the hymn when they expect something else. There was a long, terrifying silence from space. The world held its breath. Then Xyler began to vibrate. A prank? Xyler whispered. To trick others, into hearing the message of eternal loyalty? Xyler looked up, his eyes glowing with newfound religious fervor. Genius. Xyler roared. The prophet used deception to spread love. It is the ultimate divine strategy. We must adopt this practice. And so, Earth was saved. We weren't conquered. We were aggressively befriended. The Cygnus fleet protects our solar system now. But they are annoying. Sometimes, human ships will hail them for permission to dock, and the aliens will respond by blasting the chorus of "Never Gonna Give You Up" at maximum volume before granting access. They call it the divine interruption. We call it the galactic Rickroll. And somewhere on Earth, a now very old Rick Astley receives a royalty check from the Andromeda Galaxy every month. This has been the season finale of Apex Sci-Fi. The universe is vast, confusing, and incredibly silly. If you have made it to the end of this video, congratulations. You didn't get let down. Comment below, what other song would make a terrifying basis for an alien religion? Baby Shark? Gangnam Style? Subscribe. Because we are never gonna run around and desert you. End of transmission.